In this session, you are going to learn Chapter 3, Scoping, Part 1. Content of the session is what is scoping, why we need scoping, what is mapping, what is LEGB rule. Let's start the session. Scoping. Scoping, that is scope. Scope refers to the visibility of variables, parameters and functions in one part of a program to another part of the same program. Scope of a variable is that part of the code where it is visible. Simply, scope of a variable means accessibility of the variable in a program. If a variable is declared in the first line, the variable is available in the last line of the code. That means that variable can be accessed in all the lines of a program. That is normal thing. That accessibility is said to be the scoping. Scoping is a concept for variables, parameters and functions. But in this chapter we are going to see the visibility of variables. So visibility of the variable means simple accessibility of the variables. Then why we need scoping? Variable, once defined, every part of your program can access that variable. That means a variable in the first line can be accessed in the last line of the program. That is normal. But it is a good practice to limit a variable scope to a single definition. That means having limitation in the accessibility of the variable is a good practice in programming style. By this way, changes inside the function cannot affect the variable on the outside of the function in unexpected ways. It is very important concept because a variable in the first line is having value 10. If I am giving the accessibility as a normal means the A value can be modified in any of the line throughout the program. But there will be some restrictions. For example, if you are writing a program for a student report, if you are giving a value of student register number in the first line means, for example, I am saying the register number should not be changed after that, because once the register number is given means it is permanent. Am I right? So in some of the place there must be a need to restrict the accessibility of variables, functions, parameters, so and so. But here we are going to see how to restrict the visibility of variable in a particular program. First we recall what is a variable. Variable are nothing but the address to an object in memory. I will explain later this. Simply have the idea variable is nothing but the address to an object in memory. Am I right? Next, come to mapping. Mapping means nothing, the binding of variable name with an object. All the variable, mapping, namespace are interlinked topics. So the process of binding a variable name with an object is called mapping. How the binding is done means using equal symbol. In programming languages, keeps track of all these mappings with the namespace. The namespace are containers for mapping names of variables to an object. Let's see what is variable, what is mapping, what is namespace. A : equal to 5. As you have learnt C++, by seeing the line itself you will say, yes ma'am, it's A, the variable name is A and the value is 5. Is it clear? So this statement is said to be mapping. That is, a variable name A is linked with the value 5 using the equal symbol. This process is said to be mapping. A equal to 5, B equal to A. Assume what will be that. Already I know A is 5. Now B is equal to A. What will happen inside us? The A and the B are mapped with the value 5. Is it clear? See the next one. I know A is linked with the value 5. For the user or the programmer it is A. But actually in the memory A is not there. In the place of A it's an address. The address may be of any number, octal, hexadecimal. I have given an example number here. Because you know our program is digitized. That means the program stored in the memory is in the form of 1010. You know, I think you can remember your number system. Binary numbers, octal numbers, hexadecimal numbers. These number system is specified only for the computer engineers because this number system is used in computers, not in our day-to-day life. So, for the programmer, the name A is mapped with 5, but actually there is an internal address. We cannot remember this address in our coding. So, to make the coding easily, we are using a name simply as A. This is the namespace and this process is mapping. So A equal to 5 means A, there may be any number. It may be a hexadecimal number or it may be an octal number or it may be a decimal number. I am given a number as 1254 and another B variable with another address number. Both are mapped with value 5. So for us, for the programmer, we know A is equal to 5. As B is equal to A, the value of A5 is mapped with the variable B. So A and B belongs to or mapping the same value 5. Are you clear up to this, children? We'll go to the next one. Now consider the following extension of the above statements. A equal 5. Already you know. A is equal to the value 5. Next, B equal A means A and B. There will be two things and both are mapped with the value 5. If next step is A colon equal to 3. What will be the result? Give me a answer by guessing. A means A equal to 5, A points to 5. B equal to A means the A and B are belonging with 5. Now A becomes 3. As A and B belongs to 5, are you thinking that A and B will change to 3? If you think so, it's a wrong guess. Then what will happen? See the answer. First, A equal to 5. Next step, B colon A. So A and B both are belonging with 5. Next is A is pointed with 3. What about B? B, there is no change. So B remains with 5. A alone mapped with the value 3. This is the correct procedure. Is it clear, children? So first line la neenga pathina A colon 5. So 5 value A variable la irukku. Is it clear? Next line la B colon A. அதாவது ஏங்கிற வேரியபிள் இருக்க வேல்யூ தான் பிக்கும் அசைன் ஆக போகுது. ஸோ ப்ராசஸர் என்ன பண்ணும்னா ஏ அண்ட் பி ரெண்டு வேரியபிள் நேமும் 5ங்கிற வேரியபிளை தான் மேப் பண்ணும். நெக்ஸ்ட் லைன்ல ஏ கோலன் 3ன்னு கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அப்ப நம்ம என்ன நினைப்போம், ஏயும் பியும் 5ங்கிற வேல்யூவை மேப் பண்ணிருக்கிறதுனால நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப்ல ஏய 3யா மாத்தனா ஏ அண்ட் பி வில் சேஞ்ச் டு 3ங்கிறது நம்மளோட கெஸ்ஸா இருந்தா அது தப்பு. ஓகேவா? ஸோ ப்ராசஸர் என்ன பண்ணும்னா இந்த செகண்ட் ஸ்டெப்புக்கு அப்புறம் ஏ ஈக்குவல் டு 3ன்னு நம்ம மேப் பண்ணும் போது பி ஆல்ரெடி 5ல தான் இருக்கும், ஏ மட்டும் தான் 3ங்கிற வேல்யூவை மேப் பண்ணும். இஸ் இட் கிளியர்? Now we'll see the rule. That means scope also defines the order in which variables have to be mapped to the object in order to obtain the value. Here only we are going to restrict the visibility. What are they? Local, defined inside function or a class. Enclosed, defined inside enclosing functions. That means nested function concept is used here. Global, defined at the uppermost level. Built-in, reserved names and built-in functions. That means usage of modules. Local is only within a function. Enclosed is function and it may have another function within that. Global, it is used by all the thing in a program. Built-in, it can be used in this program. Same time it can be used in another program in another page. that is built in. We are going to see this in detail in the next video. In this session, you are going to learn Chapter 3, Scoping, Part 2. Content of the session is Types of Scope, LEGB. So we are going to implement the LEGB rule in the variables. Actually, scope defines the order in which variables have to be mapped to the object in order to obtain the value. So here we are going to restrict the visibility of the variables inside a program. There are 4 types: local, global, enclosed, built-in, scope. Let's see one by one with examples. Local scope refers to variables defined in current function. Always, a function will first look up for a variable name in its local scope. Only if it does not find it there, the outer scopes are checked. Simple. Here see a function with the name disp. There is a variable a equal to 7. Print a. A is assigned with the value of 7 and it is asked to print. Here the function is called. Can you see the inner rectangle? Here this indicates the scope. That means from the definition to the print a line, it is said to be the scope of the function. Apart from this space is said to be global scope. That means outside of the function. So inside the function there is a variable a with the value 7 and it is printed. Let's see the example. Definition with the keyword def. In Python we have to use the keyword def to define a function. So here the keyword def is used with the function name disp and there is a variable a with the value 7. Print a. This statement will print the value in the output screen. Disp, open bracket, close bracket. Here the function is called. From this line to this line, it is function definition. So a variable inside a function definition is said to be local variable because the visibility of the variable is only inside this function. So when I run the program, I'll get the output as 7. So what will happen if the same a is used outside the function? Let's see that. Here there is a with the value 10, value of a inside the function of disp. Here print the value of a. If I run the program, I'll get the answer, that is disp value of a is 10 because it is inside the function. The visibility is inside the function. The variable also defined inside the function, so there is no error. But the same variable is used outside the function means it will say the error because I cannot access a local variable outside the function. Is it clear, children? ஏங்கிற வேரியபிளை டிஸ்ப்ங்கிற ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்குள்ள தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஸோ இங்கே நம்ம பிரிண்ட் பண்ண சொல்லும் போது இந்த இடத்துல வேல்யூ பிரிண்ட் ஆயிரும். ஆனால் அதே ஏயை ஃபங்க்ஷனோட ஸ்கோப்புக்கு அப்புறம் வெளியில வந்து பிரிண்ட் பண்ண சொன்னோம்னா எரர் சொல்லிடும். Is it clear? Now see the global scope. A variable which is declared outside of all the functions in a program is known as global variable. This means global variable can be accessed inside or outside of all the functions in a program. Can you see a equal to 10? Inside the function a equal to 7. The variable a is used inside the function and also outside the function. That means a variable a equal to 10 is the first line of the program. As this is the first line, the a is a global variable. That means this a can be used inside the function, outside the function also. There would be any error. Now see this program. Here a equal to 10. As it is the first line, it indicates that a is global. That means this variable can be used throughout the program, inside the function, outside the function, within another function also I can use the variable a. So I'll get the output as inside the function value of a is 7 because inside a equal to 7, so it is 7. Outside the function the value of a is 10. This type of declaration is said to be global variable declaration and the scope is global. That means a can be used inside the function, outside the function also. Is it clear? Now see, enclosed scope. All programming languages permit functions to be nested. Note the point. A function within another function is called nested function. A variable which is declared inside a function which contains another function definition within it, the inner function can also access the variable of the outer function. This scope is called enclosed scope. Can you see here? There is a function disp. Inside that there is another function disp1. Actually A is declared only in the function disp. But if I ask to print inside the function disp1, it is used and it will not show any error. So this type of declaration is called enclosed scope of variable. See the example. Disp first function A is equal to 10. Inner function is disp1. Disp1 value of A, I'll get the output as 10. And also the disp value of A, that is also 10. Is it clear? Definition def disp. This is outer function. அதுக்குள்ள A equal to 10 னு நம்ம சொல்லிருக்கோம். அதுக்குள்ள A, see the indentation. This function is defined inside the function disp. Dispங்கிற ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்குள்ள தான் disp1ங்கிற ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்கு. அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்குள்ள நம்ம எந்த வேரியபிள் அசைன் மட்டும் சொல்லல, ஆனா டைரக்டா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிருக்கோம், வேல்யூ ஆஃப் A பிரிண்ட் பண்ண சொல்லிருக்கோம். It will print, it will not say any error. ஏன்னா this type of scoping is called enclosed scope. A function within another function. Nested function use பண்ணும்போது outer functionல இருக்க வேரியபிள inner functionsம் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கும். எரர் எதுவும் சொல்லாது. ஆனா இதே A நான் global spaceல யூஸ் பண்ணா எரர் சொல்லும். See the next example. Same function, but the value of A is asked to print outside the function disp, but it will say the error. Is it clear, children? If the variable is only inside one function, then it is local. If the variable is declared in the outer function and it is used in the inner function, means that type of variable is under the scope of enclosed. If the variable is at the first place uppermost and it is said to be global scope. Now come to the another scope, built-in scope. It has all the names that are preloaded into the program scope when we start the compiler or interpreter. Any variable or module which is defined in the library functions of a programming language has built-in or module scope. They are loaded as soon as the library files are imported to the program. So what is the use of built-in scope means? There is a need to have modules or functions which are compiled and stored separately, and that functions are used in all the programs. I can use, but wherever it is necessary, the library functions are used. That type of functions and modules which are stored separately and are used in all the applications are said to be built-in scope. Let's see the example. Import random. So this random is a module. Here it is said to be a package also, which is stored in the library of Python. So import random means I can import all the things which are stored in, which are compiled and stored in random package. So I'm using a function random.rand int 100, 200. That means I am asking to print a number randomly between 100 to 200. It is used in disp1 function. It is also used in disp2 function. So if we are asked to print it, it will print the answer. Here, this random is a module and it is used in this program. The same module can be used in another program also. This type of scoping is called module. Module scoping or built-in scoping. Is it clear, children? Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, subscribe this channel. Part 3. Content of the session. What is a module or modular programming? What is the characteristics of a module? Benefits of module. Access control in object-oriented programs. Access control in Python. What's the difference between that? You're going to learn these things. Let's start the session. Module. A module is a part of a program. A single module can contain one or several statements closely related to each other. First point, it is a part of a program. Second, it is a set of instructions, that is, several statements closely related. Third point, modules work perfectly on individual level and can be integrated with other modules. So a module can be integrated with other modules. So 3 points regarding the module. First one, it is a part of a program. Second one, it is a set of instructions which are related to each other. Third point, a module can be integrated with other modules. What is modular programming? A software program can be divided into modules to ease the job of programming and debugging as well. The process of subdividing a computer program into separate sub-programs is called modular programming. So, modular programming means subdividing the program into pieces, that is sub-programs, is said to be modular programming. Examples are procedures, subroutines and functions. Functions, subroutines. We have learned this in our first chapter itself. Subroutines are set of instructions, functions also set of instructions. In programming language, subroutines are termed as functions. Already we have seen this example. Here, import, it's a keyword used to import the module random. And here random dot, rand integer 100, 200. It is a function which is inside the package of random, and the function is called with 2 parameters. Characteristics of modules. Module contains instructions, processing logic and data. Random is a module. It contains instructions, processing logic and data. Instructions, I cannot say the instructions here because it is done. That means it is compiled and stored in the library. Processing logic means what this random is going to do, that is said to be processing logic. Data, what type of data it is going to handle is data. Here this random, rand int 100, 200 means it is handling integer data. But it is not restricted that a package should handle only one type of data. It can handle any type of data. So a module will contain instructions, processing logic and the data. Is it clear? Next point. Modules can be separately compiled and stored in the library. Yes, it is compiled and stored in the library. As it is stored, we are using here. We don't know the content or the coding which is involved in random. But we are simply using because it is found in the library of Python. Modules can be included in a program. Yes, we have included. Module segments can be used by invoking the name and some parameters. Yes, I have invoked rand int 100, 200 with the parameters. Module segments can be used by other modules. The random can be used in other thing. This is not given here, but you will learn later sessions. So, do you understand the characteristics of module? Next, what is the benefits by using the module programming? Less code. Yes, the coding is reduced because in the example we didn't say anything about random, simply import random. Reusability of code. Yes, it is the random package is stored, but it is used here. So the coding is reused. Small team deals with only a small part of the entire code. Because I never care about what is inside the package random, because I am carrying only what is given in the examples. So a small team deals with only a small part of the entire code. That means a big program is subdivided and it is the task is divided to each one, so it makes the job easy. Allows many programmers to collaborate on the same application. As separate teams are working together to form the final program. Code is stored across multiple files. As it is stored in the library files, the codings are stored in different files or many files. code is short, simple and easy to understand. Yes, it's simple, easy and short. Errors can be easily identified. As the task is subdivided, identifying the errors are very easy. Scoping of variables can easily be controlled. I want to insist one point here, because while writing coding that is having millions of lines, I cannot write millions of scope variables. Remembering the name is very tough. So this scoping will give a way of using the same variable name in many places. So it's very important of scoping of variables here. Is it clear, children? I'll repeat. The benefits of modular programming is less code, reusability of code, small team deals with small part of the entire code, many programmers collaborate and work, stored across multiple files, the code is short, simple and easy, errors can be easily identified and cleared, scoping of variables can easily be controlled. Access control. What is the meaning? Access control is a security technique that regulates who or what can view or use resource in a computing environment. In other words, access control is a selective restriction of access to data. You can remember this, selective restrictions of access to data, because we are going to restrict the visibility of data to a particular person or particular functions in a program. In object-oriented programming languages such as C++ and Java, it is implemented through the access modifiers or the access specifiers, public, private, protected. Do you remember these three words you have learned in C++ in your learned standard? Public, by the name itself, it can be accessed by everyone, public property. Private, it's a private thing. Protector, it will have some interconnection with others. What is that? Access specifiers in OOPS. Private members of a class are denied access from outside the class. They can be handled only from within the class. So the member functions and the data members which are inside the class with the access specifier private is used only within the class. Even it is not accessed by the object of the class in the main. I hope you remember this. Public members are accessible from outside the class. The object of the same class is required to invoke a public method in the main. Only public members are called in the main function by the object of the same class. Protected members of a class are accessible from within the class and are also available to its subclasses. This protected is implemented effectively when we are having inheritance in C++. I am not going to elaborate this because this is not much related with Python. Let's come to Python. Python does not have any mechanism that effectively restricts access to any instance variable or method. Python prescribes a convention of prefixing the name of the variable or method with single or double underscore to emulate the behavior of protected and private access specifiers. That means here there is no keyword of private, protected, public, but there is another method to implement that. Don't feel that Python is with less security. It is having good security. All members in Python classes are public by default, whereas by default in C++ and Java they are private. This is the difference between Python and C++. Any member can be accessed from outside the class environment in Python, which is not possible in C++ and Java. See the example of enclosed scope. Here there are two functions. A is in the outer function and it is used in the inner function also. Here the visibility is coming to the inner function also. But if there is a need to restrict the visibility of the function to the inner class means I can restrict. How can I restrict the visibility? Simply by using two underscore above the before the variable A. So if I add the two underscore before the variable A, it is not accessible in the inner function, but it can be used in the disp function. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this channel, subscribe this channel to watch the upcoming